Kenya has, for the 8th time in 2019, hosted the International Floriculture Trade Expo, IFTEX, in Nairobi. IFTEX is the leading floriculture exhibition in Africa that brings together growers, the market, breeders, and the entire supply chain in the floriculture industry. The exhibition offers a platform for actors in the supply chain to establish and maintain business relations and an opportunity to adjust current production, logistics, and marketing strategies.
I'm very happy that since last year, we've seen a lot of improvements in this sector. The sector did very well in 2018. In our National Expo strategy, we had a target of at least 25% performance in each sector. And I think the horticulture sector has done very well. Last year, we saw the exports of horticulture increase by 33% to reach about 157 billion Kenya shillings. And that is a very big improvement. Now the sector is now number 2 after tea. But I think in terms of order, within the horticulture sector, you will see that floriculture takes a higher percentage of nearly 70%. So the sector, the floriculture sector, which is represented here, grew by 38% last year to around 115 billion Kenya shillings, which is very impressive. For us as a government, we feel this is very good, and it means the target we set of 25% is actually achievable. So today I want to thank IFTEX through the leadership of the Kenya Flower Council for a job well done. The government of Kenya is very keen to open up markets for this sector. Europe has been one of the key markets. As you know, it takes about 70%, and we have secured the market access of free trade with Europe, at least duty-free, quota-free, because we have signed and ratified the Economic Partnership Agreement, and because of that, the European Union has allowed us to continue accessing that market without interruption, even though some of the countries in East Africa have signed but not ratified the Economic Partnership Agreement.
Our team from Kenya Flower Council visited the US recently, and we have a good understanding of what that market needs in terms of volume, but also in terms of quality and issues to do with packaging and how we need to brand ourselves. So we have good nuggets that can lead us into really getting much more into that market. At the moment, we command only about 1% of that market, which is very small. We have worked with the US Trade and Investment Hub to promote this up to 2%. So we are running a project with them so that we are able to take these up to 2% very, very soon. But our target is actually get to about 5% in the next 5 years. If we can get 5% of that market share, we know that Colombia has about 70%. We have Netherlands, Costa Rica, Peru, and the rest who are also commanding the rest of the 20%. And we want to get a share of that.
Nicholas Munyao is a worker with Stockman Rose and Flower Farm that is based in Naivasha. The farm is currently the largest rose top graft propagator in Africa, producing about 7 million top grafts annually. As Munyao explains, the company mainly grows its own rootstock to facilitate the grafting process.
We are displaying gypsophila, like you can see. We have danthus, stock-scion sunflower, limoniums, and some of the delphiniums, yeah? And roses on the other side, the other stand, still at our stand, yeah. So we provide farmers with clean seeds. That is for roses, for summer flowers. We germinate from seeds. We get them, summer flowers, we get them from Bol, Colombia. We are the big suppliers in Africa, representing the breeder called Bol. Colombian Camban has been the market for quite of some time, providing all these range of flowers you can see as displaying in these IFTEX. The most popular one, they are the delphiniums, which now is booming in the business. They have good varieties to say.
Mostly we're doing standard roses. We have almost 65 hectares in Ethiopia. We have 5 farms in Ethiopia, so just together we are doing as a group, just representing Hansa flowers. Our farm mostly we are growing the flower under elevation, above sea level, 2,500. So that's the reason we are getting so long flowers in big head size. Ethiopia Airlines, they're supporting especially this industry with a better rate just to compete with any other countries all over the world. So these days there are progress on this industry. The Ethiopian flowers is become more famous in all over the world, especially we are sending our flowers to Europe market, Russian, Middle East, almost all over the world. So Ethiopian roses is the best roses.
Stockman Rosen also produces the new Pro rootstocks, which are of the 3 registered varieties: Pro Tatu, Prone, and Protano. The flower farm has its own seed-based unit which specializes in the germination of summer flower seeds, the rooting of summer flower cuttings, and the production of young plants. As Munyao revealed, some of the flowers grown on the farm have royalties and thus can't be grown without signing a contract with the breeders.
Some seeds we germinate, they come with the royalties. Royalties is to say that the breeder of the variety has the rights of that variety. Yeah? So if a grower approaches us for the variety, for example, these delphiniums, like this one, he or she has to pay the royalty to the breeder, the original person who came up with that variety to begin with. Because the breeder of the variety, it means that he has done some research on that variety and he needs actually something to sustain him on the research or to continue with the business. It's a contract for some time, yeah? Like most of them, you find that the contract can expire maybe after 2 years or after some flush. Flush it means that you produce for some time, then you uproot, or either you pay again to continue with the crop.
Kenya is home to the world's best producers of flowers. It is among the top 4 countries in the production of flowers after Netherlands, Colombia, and Ecuador in that order. According to figures from government's Horticultural Crops Directorate Export, earnings from cut flowers grew by 37.7% from 82 billion Kenyan shillings in 2017 to 113.2 billion in 2018. The industry thus contributes significantly to the achievements of Kenya's Vision 2030 and the government's Big Four agenda.
We want to see the Green Channel working. Under the Port Charter, if you remember the Mombasa Port Corridor Charter, which was signed in 2014 and witnessed by the President, we wanted to achieve 70% of all cargo going through the Green Channel, which means that we don't have to keep subjecting goods coming into physical verification. So the measures we have taken is aimed at ensuring that that is also achieved. And I think we're also working with Kenya, Kentrade, Kenya National Trade Agency, to ensure that all agencies are in the single window, so that their portals are all linked to the single window, and we remove any manual processes. Everything is automated so that it's seamless and you don't have to move from one agency to another. From the comfort of your desk, you can lodge a document and it can be cleared by all the agencies without having to move around. So there are many reforms, and you can see even the time it takes to import or export a good, despite the hiccup we had last time, but overall we have improved. Now it takes about 3 days for a good to move to Kampala and another 3 days to come back. Unlike about 5-6 years ago when we had about 15 to 16 days. So there is great improvement, but our desire even to go lower to 1 day, 24 hours. And we think we can do it. You've seen this, the SGR is also having a huge impact on this. And we expect the SGR to even give us more results, better results. At least the traffic, human traffic, or the passenger flights, you can be certain if you want to go to Mombasa, you will reach on time because there are no delays. This is the same thing we want also when the goods come from Mombasa to Nairobi, and now with the special economic zone being done in Naivasha very soon, you will have all these goods going to Naivasha and then distributed. So I think there is transformation in Kenya, and we want to tell Kenyans to support the government, and because many good things are happening.